Hello there, guys. I just want to talk to you, show you some of the games I've made. My company's name is Drawnder Games. It's like a mix of drawing and thunder. I've been working Gamemaker for quite a few years actually. I think since like 2008, and I haven't really finished a lot of games. I've started a lot, but I thought, just so we're on the clear here on the Patreon, we all know we're on the same page that I do make games. I can make games, I should say. This one I made for the what was it? Oh yeah, the Flappy Jam. It was a game jam that was started because of I don't know how to pronounce it. The creator of Flappy Bird quit games, and I think they real fast they made a game jam about like birds, and it was because of bullying, and that turns out that wasn't it at all actually, but it was a fun jam, and I like participating. It was the first online game jam that I participated in, and this in my game it was called Blue Swan. This game you play as a it's basically ripped from the Swan Princess. You're a swan that has to save these princesses that are they're lost, and it's your job to find them in this Mario type Mario ripoff stages. Uh, so you flap, and the rooms are procedurally generated, and you find the princess and you take her back to the castle. There's a twist in the end, but you're not gonna see it because I didn't beat it in this playthrough. But you play as a blue swan, and you're supposed to avoid all the dangers. And there's a lot of things here that I wish I'd done better. Now that I know, would have been better for the player to start, you know, in the right place vertically from stage to stage. There's some problems with that, and I acknowledge them, but it is what it is. I don't know, I kind of like it. A bit of work, and I think it could make a fine game for mobile. Uh, you can go underwater, and then to get up you have to get out through the pipe. And, because of the rush, it's a game jam. I forgot to add a health indicator. That's always important because you can actually die, even though it doesn't look like it. You can die, and I was supposed to put that on there. I never did. I don't consider this quite finished, but it's, as far as the game jam goes, it's mostly done. You can finish it. You can go to the ending. That's pretty far from for a project like this. There's enemies. There's different types of enemies and obstacles, and I think you can even keep going up and eventually wind up in space. I don't know. I haven't done it in a while, but I think you can. Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. What is this? Which one is this? Oh yeah, Monsters of the King. This was also for a game jam. I think it was the backwards name jam where you took a name of a game and you flipped it. So I decided if there's a game called King of the Monsters, I'm gonna make a game called Monsters of the King, which is the opposite of that. No, I really like the idea for this one. It's one of the more original ideas I've had, and went quite far along too. This is the most advanced build of it. I think there was a more advanced build, but this one's slightly playable. I just wanted to show you the game, and the kind of game, and what I've been done with it. I'm kicking myself for not cutting out the loading of this one. So yeah. I put a little bit of story in there. I don't like to make games without story. I think if you can at least put a little context to things, it's better. I'm not saying that I'm a great storyteller, but unless it's like a puzzle or something, maybe we can try to justify the actions on the screen with some kind of situation. In this case, you play as Sister Brain. She's a hired contractor for supervillains in video games. She's the one who puts the traps in there, the spikes and the Goombas and the those kind of things. And you set up a trap for the hero. The hero is just the hero would be basically the player in a game. He would be Mario. You're playing the guy who puts the things on Mario's way. Which I thought it was somewhat clever at the time. I don't know if something like that's been done. I guess I haven't heard of it. I'm a little bit beaten out in video games nowadays. I don't have a lot of money for playing console games and stuff. But I figured I haven't really made a game like that where you're trying to get Mario killed. I made it like this, with big pink paths and things like that. And I know women would hate that because women don't like characters that look like women. Women like characters that look like a block with a cape. I mean, so I heard. Now you're jamming. I actually made all these stages. You're not gonna see them all, but I made them. I don't know if people were able to actually play because I tried to play the exe that I had and it didn't get past the start screen, which is sad. I'm gonna have to check it out later. So you see, you're basically dropping bad guys here. You see here I made a mistake because you restart the stage by hitting enter, and I kinda did it a bunch of times, and that's why he kept saying, "Let's teach him a lesson." That's from the Bruce Lee game, by the way. That fucking piece of shit. So as you can see now, you follow, your Mario and you try to get him hurt with the traps you set up. So if you get to the end, you know you lost.
Let's teach him a lesson.
Then your character's all frustrated and shit. As I said, I really like this idea. I don't know if I could one day make it, work more, but I would like to. Because you see, that what I did was not only did I flip the name, but I flipped a game out. I flipped the idea on its head. So you're no longer, you know, interested in seeing this guy make it. You can actually win this. I forgot to give you the right amount of bad guys, so I'm not gonna be able to make it to the end and win it. But in the final I think you could. Oh yes, this one. This is a fan project I made earlier in the year. I made it in about a month. I wanted to recreate X-Men 2 Clone Wars, but with better graphics. I don't want to say HD because it's not HD, but HRD, with better graphics than what it had. So I traced the whole thing. I traced the graphics for the Cyclops sprites. I traced using using GIMP. I traced the backgrounds. They're more detailed now. The ones I did, some are still. I basically traced the map. I followed it. Although there's obviously some problems here with the collisions on the floor and stuff, but the basic idea is it's already there. And I would really like to finish this one someday. It's just that when you're in my position, right, and basically you're really poor. You feel bad for doing something like this because you have to help your people out, and this isn't really helping them. It's just fun for you. I would like to make more fun games like this and even finish this one, but you know it's tough when you're supposed to kind of be getting going on other elements in your life. Yeah. I added a howling wind sound, it, and also can feel the snow blows in that direction. It's basically like that, like the original game, but more advanced. And it's not music, which if you play the original game, you know that the music in there was really great. But I was hoping to eventually create a system where the music plays out like custom music. Yes, this one. We did this one for the second Puerto Rico Game Jam. This one was called Dark Harvest. we kind of switched between ideas of what it was gonna be about because the theme was gonna be, uh, I think, creepy fruits, and we eventually settled on a flying squirrel eating the creepy fruits. You're supposed to eat them and avoid the things that can hurt you. And, we had a good time with it. I got my sister and my brother to tag along and help me with a lot of the graphics and ideas and the music for the game. I think the music came out really good and the graphics came out great too. But for what it is, you know, my sister won a Congress Award for the Arts when she was in high school. She even went to Washington and stuff. But you obviously can get the same results, you know, from making a painting for a month to like making a background in like 3 days. In that sense, I think it came out really good, and I put some limited animation on the design of the fruits, and I'm looking forward to, you know, working with them again in the future. We're all really busy. I mean, I'm the least busy one, but my sister's got to go to the university. She's got stuff to do, and my brother, he's got a job and he's got to do it. You know, for now, we can live off of this stuff. Well, I mean, with your help, we could. But as of right now, we're basically hobbyists. We're doing it as a hobby. I'd like to go pro, as they say. I don't know if they say that, but I'd like it anyway. The game jam was a really great experience for me, and this is the second time I participated in a game jam, and I would like to participate in one in the future again. There's supposed to be one soon, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go to that one. Oh yeah, this old chain. Yeah, this one's all me. I don't know if you've heard about Sonichu. It was, well, I don't know. If you go look it up on the internet. I was into this group of people who were obsessed with this stupid fan comic called Sonichu, and we were all making fun of it and shit and stuff. And I thought some parts of it were salvageable, let's say. But I decided that I would make a racing game based on that game, on that fan comic, I guess. Where, you know, there's this guy who's called Christian Weston Anderson, and there's like Christian Chandler. Sorry, I don't know what that one. And it's basically a knockoff on Mario Kart. And it came out pretty terrible, you know. If I did it today, I know some stuff that is different now, but you can't go back now. You can't ever go home. And I did it, and it was pretty bad, pretty bad. I did some sprites, some fixing sprites, but I eventually gave up on it because it got the slowdowns. And you know, maybe if I was making another type of game, it wouldn't matter, but it's a racing game, you're supposed to go fast. So you could pick up weapons. I honestly don't remember how you could use them, but you could. And yeah, and one day I basically noticed that another person was making a better Sonichu Drift, and I was like, well, what the fuck am I doing then? So I gave up on it. And during that time, I was also trying to work as an ice cream salesman, and I had a bad time. Some people robbed me, and it was a bad time in my life. I don't see things the way I saw them before that. It's not to say that I didn't expect people to rob me, because I did. It's just that I don't like it when people walk behind me anymore. I don't. But the game itself, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever go back to this one. It's kinda lame now. Well, maybe I could do another Sonichu parody. Like I can make it like Sonichu R. That would be stupid. I don't know. Oh yeah, this one. This one requires a bit of explanation. This is basically the bones of a game. I wanted to make a game where you were like a firefighter and you rescue people, and there would be traps on the way, and you had to avoid them. And you had to take water so you could put out the fires. I was basically testing the engine, and it never really panned out. But I think the idea is not bad. It's just that I didn't put the time in it to make it better. I was gonna start this Betty Boop knockoff character. You know, I don't know why you want to do that. Have you seen the mobile store? It's I could put Pikachu in there, for God's sake. Let's see what else I did back in the old days. Oh yeah, this one, I really love this idea. After my first Puerto Rico Game Jam, which I can't show you the project right now, I tried to make this one, which was a little closer to the original idea that I had for the game jam itself. We had a lot of ideas, but we basically had to forget about all of them. With this one, I wanted to make a 3-player, basically airship simulator, where each player is a part of the crew, and you're supposed to maneuver it to get results, to avoid getting destroyed and destroying your enemies. You're supposed to be one player is like hitting the fire button. The other player is supposed to be on, manipulating the cannon so it will shoot in the direction of the bad guys. And the other one's supposed to be on lookout duty. Following the action from afar. You see, I'm gonna take you to the telescope now. This isn't the latest build of the game, because in the original build you could see something that I'm gonna tell you, but you see, here you would see like a line from where the bullet is traveling, so you can see where it's going, but it's not. You can see it. I fucked it up. I really did fuck it up, but The idea is basically this, one of you is on lookout, the other one's seeing the direction, and the other one is firing the cannon. But I, as I said, I fucked it up, and I didn't have a second and third controller for the multiplayer action, co-op action. I think co-op only games are a bit of a hard sell on the PC, but if you could have it done, it would be, an amazing experience, to have a game focused not just on multiplayer action, but where the only thing there is, co-op multiplayer action. And I'd like to revisit this idea sometime, go back and now that I know some stuff that I didn't know back then, I'd like to go and remake it, but when you're like me, you're constantly having different ideas, and it's not so good because unless you're like focused or with somebody's like pushing you to do something, you're like, I got tired of this and I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna go do something else. Then you go do something else because it feels more advancing than just struggling to get the thing that isn't working. But this one I'd like to go back to. One of my latest. Gynoid, the quest for head. I made this for the Loot Game Jam. I had in mind some kind of wacky adventure type. Game genres are confusing. Some kind of wacky platformer in the spirit of Earthworm Jim, but different. In this game, you're playing as a Gynoid, which is the female version of an android, if you don't know that, which some people don't, because our schools suck. So this character, she's basically a mannequin, but she doesn't have a head. So she's on a quest to get her head back. And instead of a head, she wears different items and devices that help her get across. And she can replace her head with a hook, and then she's jumping from hook to hook, clambering, You can replace her head with a gun, which has its uses, I think we all know what a gun does. But the enemies were supposed to be placeholder, but I ended up keeping them because what else was I gonna do, right? Or you can blast in all directions, except down, I guess. Destroy the other menace. You have to be still when shooting because that's how you change direction. I'm not sure about that choice, but this was all placeholder graphics, but I ended up I don't consider it cancelled, but haven't worked for it in a couple of weeks. This was very recent. You see, you can take a helicopter and float up there. Some of the hardest parts in gaming are animation, and I read a book about animation once, so I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing wrong. But this is where having a team and having resources would benefit me as a developer. So when you just yourself, struggling to get a game done, and people are suffering around you, and the island's in trouble, and oh, look out, you gotta watch out for the train. Well, you see, it's unnecessarily hard. I mean, I would like to have someone more adept at moving characters than me. I kind of resent the idea of retro graphics as a way to oh well, I can't give it real graphics, I'll give it retro graphics, and that way I don't like that. But you have to do it sometimes, because when you can't draw fluid animation like I can't mostly. I'm a drawing artist, not the best, but I draw. But the art of animation is a whole different thing. You can see you can use the magnet to attract yourself to metallic objects. There's gonna be a link in the description to all the games that I'm showing you here. I mean, not all of them. The ones that are actually, because I haven't really uploaded a lot of them, like Sonichu game and the others. But the X-Men one is an upload. Ah, yeah, that one is. So if you wanna check them out, let me know if there's any of these games that you would like for me to, advance. With your support, I could get these games done. And I don't do it. I don't make games because I want to be rich, but I don't make games because I want to be poor either. So any help from you, any contribution would be welcome. And see, you can clamber up there with it. Actually, this had a lot of potential, and hold on. So yeah, your support can help me, and I don't just mean like giving me money. I mean, if you're an animator and you want to make a game with me, that's fine. So thank you for watching, and good night.